Redwoods, y'all. That is one tall ass tree. Of course, they're all tall ass trees.
Oh, it's only 2 miles to the beach, but it says they have it closed a little bit before you suffer to walk on the rock.
Not much left of this tree.
Redwood sorrel.
Yeah, redwood sorrel right here. Got your obligatory ferns. You even got a haziness out there in the distance. So I'm surprised we're going uphill. See, I thought we were going to go downhill to the beach, but I guess that's coming. But I didn't realize we were going to start off coming up. This tree sure looks beat. The bark looks beat up. Is that bear does that? I can't believe hikers do that. Bears like to stand on their hind legs and reach as high as they can and claw up the bark as a warning to all other bears, so they know who's the biggest and baddest bear in the neighborhood. God damn, those are tall trees. Tallest tree in the world is right here in this county. Now I can't remember how tall it is. 380, I believe. For a lot of years, they thought it was this tree. It was like 365. This tree fell over many decades ago. So you look here. See, I don't see any claw marks. Plus, a bear would be a paw. That must be just hikers. I wouldn't think soft hiker hands would do that. You know, when the first loggers came in here, they looked at these trees and they shook their head and they moved on to spruce and Doug fir, trees they knew. Took them a long time for the logging industry to figure out how they would go about chopping these sons of bitches down. Yeah. See, this forest has had a fire. This bark is almost fireproof, and it protects the inner tree. Unfortunately, what happens is the fire outside, the inside of the tree gets so hot, it's not unflammable, and it bursts into flames. So that's why you see a lot of the bark, and the heartwood, they call it, is burnable. But even so, 100 years later, a tree that's caught fire like that will still live. Because remember, all trees and nutrients go through the roots and they go up the bark. You go up to any tree and you cut a band around it of bark and take it off, the tree will die. Isn't this pretty? Notice how quiet it is? It's always like this in the redwood forest. It's like a cathedral. Don't even hear birds or bugs. I don't know why. Many people have said when they've visited a redwood forest. I feel like it's a religious experience. I think that's what they're feeling. It's that same solitude and quietness you hear, you feel and hear in a church. Look at that one. That one might have, that's as busted up as that is, it probably got struck by lightning 1,000 years ago. And here's one. Almost looks like it's been cut. These, by the way, are old growth. Old growth means they never, this section's never been cut.
Come back here on a day and bring sandwiches and pull away.
Yeah, that'd be a good place for an eagle to perch. Just read in the newspaper they got a program to reintroduce the California condor to our county, and it's supposed to be bringing in the first ones this fall. The autumn of 2019. There's a bird. No. There's another one's blowing all to hell. But see how the old one died and then it sprouted. That's what happens. Redwood roots or base of a tree.
Wow, look all red.
There's a highway right there. Will resprout. Even when the loggers came along and they cut a redwood down, the roots would sprout. The base. That's where you get your second growth. Curiously, redwoods have the teeniest, tiniest, ittiest bittiest little pine cone you ever did see. I don't even see any. I'll show you one if I can find it. I don't know, it might be the wrong time of year. I don't see one anywhere. I got a big ass tree. Now see here, so you got several of them. See, they're growing off of a base of an old tree. They call the old tree the mother tree, because it'll sprout the baby trees. So you'll see that a lot. You'll see redwoods growing in a circle. I think there's some right there. Yeah, I don't think they did much, if not any, logging through this section. They logged a lot of redwood in Del Norte County. This trail goes all the way to the beach, and when you get close to the beach, it's like the trail goes straight up a cliff face. And that's why back in the early days, people used to ride their horses on mules. Well, I don't know if they rode them or they led them up that steep incline. By the time they got to the top, they would all agree, damnation, what a steep ass trail that was. So that's how it got its name. There's a creek along here somewhere too. Damnation Creek. Of course, with the highway, we lost our cathedral silence. This tree been here a while. Well, it's been there for a long, long time. Yeah, the loggers, in the early days, they'd look at these redwoods. They had a lot of wood in them. Well, they could sure make a pretty penny by dropping one. But that was only half the equation. Okay, you chop it, you get it on the ground. How do you get it out of the forest? What they did back in those days, 1800 whatever, they used to have mule teams and oxen teams, sometimes a team of 20 that would drag a big tree, a big log out of the forest, but not a redwood they wouldn't. What they would do is they'd drop the tree and then they'd cut it in about 20-foot sections. And then they bring in a tiny railroad. They were the only thing that's strong enough. I still don't know exactly how they got it up on the train car. I guess they had to build some kind of crane. And the steam engine was the only thing that was powerful enough to move a redwood log. And also one of the first things they found, look at this, a lot of damage. Oh, that's dead. Yeah, no top. See there, you can go inside there. They said the early farmers used to corral their geese inside there sometimes. Well, some of the first redwoods they drop it and the thing would smash into toothpicks. Well, great big toothpicks. It would just split the wood, it'd destroy it. So they learned they couldn't let it drop on its own. They had to lay a tree crosswise on the drop path to cushion the redwood, because it's so heavy. Who knows what that thing weighs? A million pounds maybe? I don't know. Here we go, now we're starting down. Uh-oh. I don't know what that is. Almost looks like a little hidey hole. Well, I got worried at first, but here the trail's leveled out. So we're not going to go a whole lot farther. But I sure wish the highway wasn't so near. Look, there's another monster laying on the ground. Redwoods curiously have shallow roots. Oh, they stick out quite a ways, but they're not very deep. They're like 6 feet or less. Well, this forest is just full of dead trees. I guess because it's an ancient forest. And then there's another one.
I think this is a good turnaround spot. Yeah, we need to come back here and bring a sandwich or something. Go further.
Yeah.